Okay, so we're going to try to do a weekly energy read. I'd like it to be a video, but I don't know. It's just with my life, my busy life. So it may come in different forms. But I want to be able to give something that feels like guidance on a weekly basis. So I want us to look at the week and just see what's going on. What does Source want us to know? Kind of things to keep in mind to like help guide you through the week, the energetics of the week. So this is going to be for the week of the 1st through the 7th. And I'm double checking. No, it's not. Good thing I checked. It's the 30th through the 5th. Okay, so it's the very end of March, and it's going to be our first week of April. We've also got Easter if you're watching from America. And what I'm getting right now is it's very interesting because I just had posted a article on Substack about authenticity and like what that journey is really like. And so it feels like this is kind of being woven in, of course, because that's energy. So the first part of the week, and what I'm getting is like the first part of the week, the middle, and then the end, but really, you could be feeling these energetics throughout the entire week. So don't feel like, oh, she said it was at the beginning of the week, and then you feel it more mid or to the end week that there's something wrong. No, these energetics they all overlay one another. But what I'm getting for the beginning of the week is this feeling of like shake it off. It's almost like you're thawing out from winter and we're moving into spring, at least here in America, or you could be thawing out of a season and moving into another season, but it also feels like shaking off what no longer works, or shaking off this, like, I want to say negativity. I want to say this buildup of energy. And what's very interesting is what I'm getting. For some people who might be watching this might hit a little more home than for others. But it feels like the negativity that you have been also accumulating from yourself, right? And this is like maybe how you speak to yourself, maybe how you view things. It feels like shake it off. Like, it's like taking the energy of spring and saying, well, how do I want to start new? Okay, and then this is like reminding you, let's stay connected with the divine. Like, let's stay connected with the unseen, right? And this is like, ask for a sign. Remember that the communication from the universe isn't like we're picking up the phone and we're talking, right? We kind of need signs, especially in the beginning, when we're really developing or cultivating a relationship with like our intuition or the divine itself. It's like we need those anchors. And so this is again like asking for signs, like, okay, can you just give me the sign that you're there, that I'm like moving in the direction that I want to be moving in. This also, I'm getting the sense of like boundaries. Where are you maybe taking on too much? Where are you feeling drained from somebody else's energy? And it's kind of like shake off who you thought you had to be, which is very much like what I've been sharing recently, like about Ainana and this removing the mask of who you think you have to be. So this is like shake off like all the ick. And what's really interesting too is this is literally a Qigong practice, like shake off the energy. It's like standing and shaking, literally for a minute, 5 minutes. It is a wonderful nervous system practice and like an auric field clearer, energy clearer. All right, and then as we move towards the middle of the week, there might be this sense of like, I almost want to say like a pull on your purpose. So it's like what the hell am I doing here, right? And again, it's like shake off the old narratives, ask for your signs, move into something new. But the purpose is like, where are you allowing yourself to get creative? And what's really interesting is like, this is a time to create. So this doesn't mean that you're going to find your answers by the middle of the week. It means, how are you opening yourself to something more than what you thought your life only had to be, right? And where can you create more? How can you, like, and I feel like also, before you maybe get to, how do I want to say this? I feel like so often we think our purpose is what we need to do to make money. And sometimes yes, and sometimes no. So this doesn't necessarily mean with money. But it's like, what is your soul essence here to share? And that doesn't necessarily mean monetarily, right? But this is, again, saying, I feel like this is asking you to get curious and allow yourself to create and get creative. So like, what is going to bring you joy? What feels creative? And you might not even know, but it's, again, like allowing yourself to get curious. One of my mentors used to say, don't look through the lens of judgment. Look through the lens of collecting data. And I always really liked that, because it took the pressure off of like, oh, I'm doing something wrong, as, well, what feels good or what doesn't feel good? Well, that doesn't feel good, so I'm just collecting data. It kind of feels like maybe that type of energy. And like, your biggest purpose here is to find who you are. And that doesn't necessarily mean that that's a one and done journey. You know, like who I am at 40 is not who I was at 20 or 10, you know, so really being able to keep that door open. Okay. All right. Then towards the end of the week, we definitely have this health, beacon going on. Now, this could mean many different things, but I also feel like this has something to do with electricity. And the card that I got is nature, but you see the lightning strikes on it. But I just feel like it has to do with like electricity. We might even see that in the collective somehow. I have no idea how that might show up, but it could be various things. We could have storms. We could also have something literally happen with our grids. But this is like, what I'm getting right now specifically for this is to like be mindful of all the things, right? Be mindful of how long you're on your electronics. Be mindful of the electricity intake. You know, I tell this to my dad all the time, like, our bodies are literally computers. You know, we have electricity firing through us all the time. What do they do when your heart stops? Like, they zap you with electricity. So this is like, again, something to do with electricity, but to me, I'm also getting, be mindful of how much you're on your electronics, and maybe just give yourself some time to reintegrate into being outside, boredom, not having yourself so wired with all the things going on, even in your house, okay? But I'm also getting, because with the health card, so this is like, again, my friend and I talk about this a lot, and for me, it's been a different journey in learning how to ground my energy, and learning how to ground my own electricity. So that could even be one of these things, right? Discharging extra electricity, which is also the shake it off. It's just kind of saying this week, the energetics might be like a little intense or maybe off-putting. So it's basically saying, tend to yourself, shake off what doesn't matter, create good boundaries, open yourself to feeling creative and what lights you up, and take care of yourself. And this is also, my friend has been talking about so much, and she knows the astrology, but right here it says on the card, drink more water, start taking walks, right? Doing things to maybe move the body. This could be meditation, this could be yoga, but whatever. Choosing better foods, right? This could literally be this, but I think we're also going to see it in other ways. So that is just a really quick, the energetics of the coming week and what to look for, maybe how to keep yourself a little on track. This also would be like a great opportunity to like journal a little bit. What are maybe some of the boundaries that you've been feeling you want to, what do I want to say? Like, I want to say stabilize, but also create. Also, what lights you up and how can you take care of yourself, right? Is this a week where you can kind of pull away and like get quiet? Because like it is about nature, but I feel like, again, there's something else that I can't quite grasp for this, but I also don't want to do like a super long video. But there is something that seems like there's like a little hit on the electricity, but it could also just be the currents in our body. So be mindful to discharge this week. And what does that look like? It's like literally the shake it off, and so many other nervous system care practices, but also going outside, walking barefoot, going for walks, right? Like being able to recenter and restabilize the body seems like it's going to be a highlight for this week. Okay, happy end of March, happy beginning of April.